Respected D.D. Pushpa ma'am, our mentor and coordinator Ravindran Master, and dear friends. Good evening, one and all. I'm Preeta, and my today's topic is book review. So, I would like to introduce an old English novel, Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens is a famous English novel writer in the Victorian era. And in this novel, Oliver Twist, Charles Dickens depicts the impoverished London underworld and illustrates his belief that poverty leads to crime. The story of Oliver Twist in this novel is surrounded by a young boy. It is structured around the boy Oliver. Oliver was a poor. Oliver was a young, good-hearted orphan. He spent most of his childhood in an orphanage, and he had to suffer a lot of mistreatment there. After suffering a long term mistreatment, he ran away from there. And after escaping from the orphanage, he reached at Fagin. But Fagin was the gang leader uh, of juvenile pickpockets. So Oliver had to suffer a lot there also. But at the end of the story, Oliver was escaped from there and lived happily with Mr. Brownlow and Maylis at the countryside. In this story, the main character is Oliver, an orphan boy, and then he reached to Fagin. Fagin is a bad man, bad character, and he was the gang leader of juvenile pickpockets. And Psych Bill, Nancy, Mr. Brownlow, Maylis families. There are different characters in this story, and it's a beautiful story about the uh, and beautiful story, and it gives us insight to the poverty and the problems of the London at the 19th century. And this is a story, it's a story of social criticism also. It gives us insight to the social issues in of uh, that time. And the story has also some moral value. And it says that even though there are a lot of bad things surrounding Oliver was a good boy, good-hearted boy, and even though he was surrounded by evil things, bad things, but he won at last. That is, it's a story of battle between good and bad, and Charles Dickens proves that the good will always win. And a nice story. So I recommend you to you should read the story. That's all. Thank you.